everybody, and welcome to my August favourites and books. I'm very aware it's halfway through August already. I'm slacking. No, it's not halfway through August. We're halfway through September. My Augusts are about half a month late. But here we are doing them now. So I'm going to start off with a cocktail. Now, this cocktail is called a Picante. I think the recipe originated at Soho House in London. My friends Gabby and Isaac made me one of these around their house, and it was so delicious and so obscure. I was like, there's no way I'm gonna like this. Had one, absolutely loved it. Got home the next day, got all of the ingredients myself, and I've been making them for me and the family ever since. Absolutely love Picante. It's a tequila-based cocktail, and the ingredients are tequila, agave nectar, red chilies, like actual red chilies put in a shaker with ice, and also a lot of lime juice. So it's similar to a margarita but with chili, so it's actually spicy, which is what picante means in Spanish. Loving these. They're very strong. Mum started drinking hers very quickly when I started making these, and we had to have a little word. Mum, the majority of that glass is tequila. Take a break. But Picantes have been my favourite cocktail this month. That leads me very nicely into my next favourite, which is an app, and it's Duolingo. You have most likely heard of it, but if you haven't, it is an app where you can learn a language. They've got all the languages on there, even the really obscure ones, and I have been learning Spanish. I currently have a 90-day streak on my Spanish on Duolingo. I do this every afternoon after work or before bed. And I'm just really enjoying it. I think the app is amazing. It's speaking, reading, writing and listening. So it's not just like learning to speak a language. I would also be able to kind of write an email in Spanish as well, which is very, very cool. I've been loving that. I think being bilingual is amazing. It's something on my bucket list. I chose Spanish because I've got family in Mexico. I did do Spanish at school as well, and I thought actually of all the languages, that is the one that would come in most helpful for me. But yeah, have a go. I took this up in lockdown as kind of one of those skills. Everyone was kind of developing their skills over lockdown, and I just haven't stopped since then, and I'm really still enjoying it. So Duolingo is on my favourites list. Next on my favourites list will come as a surprise to a lot of my friends, because it's kind of a well-known thing that I hate bucket hats. I hated bucket hats. I thought they looked stupid. I thought they were made for fishermen. I just didn't get the bucket hat hype. However, since I've got a sewing machine and I've been making lots of masks, I wanted to kind of develop my skills and make something that wasn't a mask but wasn't as kind of difficult as maybe like a dress or a t-shirt, using loads of material when I might mess it up. So I looked online, and one of the most common kind of patterns that came up for me was a bucket hat pattern. Now, I started off by taking some old trousers that I bought from a charity shop and cutting them up, and I made this hat. Oh, and I was kind of obsessed with this, and I thought, I'm quite a hat person. I do like wearing a hat, and I thought this was kind of cool, and I did wear it out the house a couple of times. So I went on Facebook Marketplace, and because I saw a girl online was making them out of towel material, so toweling, so I had a look on Facebook Marketplace for like old towels, and I found this lady selling a Finding Nemo towel, just a little kid's one, for like £2. So I was like, oh yeah, I'll have that. So I made a flannel bucket hat, which I thought I could take to the beach when I go on my morning swims, which has got a little bit of Nemo and Dory on the top. Hilarious, absolutely loved it. Then I had some material left over, decided to make a second kind of Finding Nemo bucket hat, which looks like this. Then went to the charity shop and decided to buy some new fabric. Found this fabric, this nice blue and white print. I made this one, and now I just can't stop. So every time I'm in the charity shop, as well as looking for like homeware, for clothes for myself, I always go and check kind of the fabric section, like the tablecloths and curtains, to see if there's anything cute that I can make bucket hats out of. So that's been my next obsession, is making bucket hats. I actually haven't worn these, but making them is really fun, and it's quite nice to be able to finish one and then be able to wear it on your head. So my next favourite is bucket hats. Next we have a series on Netflix. You may have seen this. I think it was trending pretty much all over the summer. Oh look, I've got a towel in my head. And it is Money Heist. Elliot and I went up to the Lake District and we watched the first 2 series of Money Heist in a worrying space of time. I'm completely obsessed with it. I love the professor. I've realised that I always love the villain. I'm a sucker for a bad guy. love the professor. Watching it in Spanish as well, so it's kind of paired up nicely with my Duolingo. Elliot's also learning Spanish on Duolingo, so every time they say a word that we know, we always look at each other and we're like, we know that word! And usually I don't really like watching things in other languages where you have to read the subtitles, because I'd rather concentrate on like the acting. But after the first couple of episodes, I've kind of gotten over that, and I've been really enjoying it. You can watch it with English dub over the top, but I fancy the professor so much as a Spanish man, so I'm going to continue with that. I've watched season 3. I've also watched season 3, but I left Elliot behind, and then I got so far ahead that he was like, you know what, you just carry on without me. So I finished series 3. I plan on starting series 4 maybe this afternoon, and then there's 5 series, and I just can't wait to finish it. It's so clever. Every episode I'm like, yeah. Next up is a food favourite, and it is avocados. I've always liked avocados, but recently I think maybe what's happened is that Sainsbury's have overbought avocados, and then they've had to put loads reduced. So there's been loads of reduced avocados, which are always perfectly ripe, so win-win situation there. I keep buying avocados, I keep eating avocados. I could spoon one out of the skin with a bit of salt on it. So delish. I mainly have them chopped up with cherry tomatoes on toast for breakfast, but really, any way you want to give me an avocado, I will eat it. Been loving avocados this month. Last but not least, before we get onto books, is probably my favourite. Let me get the book. So over the summer, I paid a visit to the Great Frog in Soho, which is a jeweller's. They create they create gold as well, but they're known for their silver jewellery, really rock and roll style, lots of kind of skull rings and rock and roll band rings as well. And I've been eyeing these up for a while. They're quite expensive, but I thought as a graduation present to myself for qualifying as a teacher, I would order myself a Great Frog ring. I looked on the website so many times to decide which one I might want. I went into the shop with Elliot and tried a load on, and I decided that the cat ring would be the one for me. So I ordered this. They said it would take 4 to 6 weeks. It ended up taking, I think, 8 weeks, but I went to collect it a few weekends ago. I've worn it every day since, and I'm completely obsessed with it. I've already been back on the website having a look at which one my second one might be, and I'm eyeing up the little skull ring, which I might get on this hand to kind of look cool. So let me give you a little close-up. There he is, a little cat on there. So lovely. I'm really thrilled with that. Anyway, that's my present to myself and my last favourite of August. So we move on to books now, and I read 3 books in August. The first of those was this. It's called 5 Steps to Happy by Ella Dove, and my review of it, I gave it 3.5 stars. I said it's a really nice story, although quite predictable. It was an easy read, and it was based on a true story, which makes me like it even more. So yeah, it was quite a nice, happy, easy read, just something to read a couple of chapters before bed every night. But like I said, a romantic, very predictable story. I think maybe the more that I'm reading, the more I know how these storylines are going to turn out. So I'm shooting myself in the foot by reading so much. But yeah, I did enjoy this one. I would recommend it, but 3.5 stars. Like, it was good, but nothing to like call home about. The next book I read was called The Accidental Love Letter. This was lent to me by my kind of stepsister Lily. I gave this 4 stars. I really quite enjoyed it. Oh, I gave it 3.5 stars. I've lied. I gave it 3.5 stars, and I didn't write a review. Oh no, I might have written some notes on my phone about this actually. Oh yes, I did. I've written that this was a very comprehensive story. I was clearly feeling very intelligent that day, and now I think about it, I don't really know what I meant by that. And I said that there were a lot of unanswered questions by the end of it. Again, kind of, was it a predictable love story? No, there was a few storylines in this at the same time actually, now that I'm reminding myself of it. It was interesting, again, really nice, easy read, just kind of light-hearted, a bit of a love story twist to it as well. Yeah, but some unanswered questions. Sorry, I'm definitely not going to go into book reviewing, am I? 3.5 stars for that one. Last but not least, I read this book, it's called 10 minutes 38 seconds in this strange world. I don't know where this has gone. I must have lent it to somebody because I've just had a look around the whole house and I can't find it anywhere. I gave this 3 stars. I said, quite a strange one, this. I really enjoyed the first 3/4-ish, and then it seemed to get quite bizarre. I'm not sure that the characters are believable enough. A strange one. This is actually new. I bought it new from Waterstones a few weeks ago. I had a voucher, so I treated myself to some new books. Yeah, I did think it was weird. It definitely wasn't what I was expecting. It's about a prostitute in Istanbul who gets killed, and it's about her and her friends. To give you an overview. As a side note, I don't know if I've mentioned it. I've probably mentioned it 500 times already. I'm writing a book. I'm just going to drop that in there so that when I watch this back in the future, I'm like, oh yeah, she wrote that book and it came out. That is all of my August favourites and books. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you've taken some inspiration. Go and try one of these Picante cocktails if you are of age. They are delish. That's everything. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye.